You made it to another episode of the We Did That Shit podcast, hosted by Mya and Bibbi. Join them as they share experiences and opinions about who did some shit, what they learned from shit, and how they got through some shit. Cousins by chance, friends by choice. These two passion driven personalities create addictive conversation.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Mya? Okay.
I'm here.
In five. Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, Mya.
Hey.
What's going on?
Me. I'm what's
Always.
going
And
on.
that's exactly what you look like. You look like, my name is Mya. I'm what's happening. Yeah.
Is that from the hairstyle?
Yes. It's giving me Woodrow Wilson on my way to the Chinese store by
Yeah, it definitely is. Because I got like the bang and then the, hair up, hair down. Yeah, tried to give you a little young girl vibe.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. But yeah.
So, how's your week been?
It's been last week. My week was transformational. The only thing about, and you like that, you get like, it gives you a high, so you want another transformational week. But
Right.
this week I'm kind of living in the transformation, and
Well,
it's
that's
like, right, it's productive but not as exciting.
we can't have every week be like,
Yes,
girl.
yes. So it's been very productive. I am getting things done. I'm very happy about that. And I'm also doing things to be more proactive, because I get the seasonal depression disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to remain proactive. I get up in the morning, I open my curtains, open my blinds, try to, suck in some sun. Vitamin D is very important. And just get the things done on my to-do list so that I'm not wasting my days. And I'm also working on some things from Bibbi's book of brilliant ideas, and I'll have some timelines. So I'm getting those things done because I have to do 3 things before the end of the year.
Good. And you will.
I appreciate you, Mya.
Is it 3 specific things, or you just want to get 3 things done?
No, well, there are 3 specific things that I want to get done before the end of the year. And I'm starting on the first thing, which I'm hoping to get done before my birthday. So that I can have that out of the way. Is something that I've been meaning to do for quite a long time. And when I mean quite a long time, I mean years.
Well, one of these days you can get it done.
I just haven't gotten around to it, but I've started the process. I'm going to get a certification. I registered for the test. I'm doing the studying and things like that. So
well, you'll be good at that because you're a smarty arty ass. that you are.
I think that, and it's, in fact, like I did a practice test and I passed every portion. Sight unseen. I passed every portion except the like technical nursing stuff. And that's because I've never been a floor nurse. I never worked in, I worked
nursing.
Right. I worked in the ER, but I just never been a floor nurse, like, doing this, seeing this in these disease states over time. The only disease state that I know is HIV and AIDS. But in that capacity, I always worked in ambulatory care, never the hospitalized patients. Like, I see my patients in the hospital, but I've never cared for them in that arena. So that was the part. Like, they do a lot of stuff in the hospital. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You got time for all this? Big love to my nurses that's working on the floor. I mean, hugs and everything from me. I would send you some flowers and cookies, but I ain't got it. But I'm just saying, because it's a lot. And I'm just looking at these pages like, okay. So that's the only portion that I know I need to focus on.
Okay. Yeah. And you will. I what I will say is this: I'm not a nurse, and I never, had a desire to be, but I think that all nurses should have some time on where they're doing patient care, even
Yes,
outside of you getting this certification or anything. I just think that it would, in the grand scheme of it, of nursing, I just think that it would be important, because at some form of capacity in nursing, even when you're on the administrative side, you're dealing with people. And so getting that bedside manner, and then also the way that in which, like, being an administrator and being an actual, I don't want to say an actual nurse, because you definitely
mhm,
an actual nurse, but being a nurse that's like on the floor, I just think the experiences and some of the things that they might even know um are would be helpful. Now with you, this is what I always say, like, you a smarty arty ass, because you ain't never been on the floor, but I could call you and say
pretty much.
anything. I trust you more than I trust my damn doctors, and I trust them, and you know it. But everybody is not like you in that sense.
Right.
Some people are just like the administrative side, and that's it, and they don't know patient care.
Right.
And so,
I definitely believe a lot of nurses or younger nurses, they go back to school to get another degree and then they become administrators very quickly. First of all, you cannot teach bedside manner.
mhm,
Either you care about people or you don't. That's one thing. You cannot teach bedside manner. The
right,
second thing is when you're an administrator, if you've never been doing the job that you're now supervising, that's very difficult because you can't see things from their point of view.
right,
And then and that so that's difficult. It rarely works. A lot of people are not satisfied with their supervisor or being in charge. And sometimes being in charge overtakes you because you want to know, oh, I'm a leader, but nobody's listening to me,
mhm,
because you really don't know how to lead. And then the third thing, which is this, and this is the main reason why I've never had any desire to work in a hospital, be on the floor, is because I don't care what happens. Every new rule that comes out, everything gets dumped on the nurses,
yeah,
everything. So I can't care for a patient and then have to do all these other things, and then you have that one patient, oh, I'm supposed to get my medicine at 6:15, it's 6:17, and I didn't, you know what I mean? So it's not fair to the patients, and it's certainly not fair to the nurses.
yeah,
And that's the main reason why I have never had a desire to work on the floor, because I don't have the emotional intelligence to, get through all of that. Now in the ICU, the ratios are like 1 or 2 to 1. Like you only have one or two patients tops, and that second patient is almost ready to go to a step down unit.
mhm.
So you can spend your time with that person, because that's what I like to do. I
Yeah,
like
you're into caring for
for
people. And
people. Exactly.
unfortunately, that's just not the way, whether it be in nursing or anything of this society is just not the way that it is. We're not into people, we're into flipping things.
Right.
It's all about, even in the hospital, it's not about patient care, it's all about the numbers. This is a terrible comparison, but it's true. It's like a prison in the hospital. It's about the number of people that you get in, the number of people that you can turn, or the number of beds that you have people in, because it's about the dollars. It's not about caring for people, like the medical industry, and that's a whole nother topic. But they in the business
Right.
of
We
keeping
really
people
need to
sick.
get into that, because now that we're talking about it, I'm like, there is so much. And I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, it
from
is.
a healthcare's perspective and from a consumer's perspective, you're absolutely right. I think
Yeah.
that's an excellent analogy.
Yeah, so and I think that goes into another topic of, like, school to prison pipelines and all of those type of things. So it's just like a turnaround. It's not about caring for people, or what they call prison rehabilitating people. Same thing as a hospital. You rehabilitate people, you heal people so that they can get back out into the world, and none of it is happening. It's about capitalism, and that's it.
I agree.
So, but it'll be something for us to get into. But say all that to say, congratulations on you. Uh, we went off into a tangent, honey. That
Right.
happens. But congratulations on you. knocking something off of that to do this
Yes.
before your big birthday.
Yes. And so how was your week?
You know what? My week has been a continuation from last week.
Oh no.
And last week, I wasn't having the best week. And this week, much like last week, I'm not having the best week. I'm really growing though. Let me just say, because I know this about myself because I always say this. This is a common theme on a podcast that I'm very self-aware, and I am. I'm self-aware. I know when I'm on bullshit. I know
Right.
when I'm not. I know when I'm not growing. I know when I'm stuck. I'm well aware of all of it. Now, what I'm doing about it, that's another thing, but I'm aware of it. But I'm growing in the sense of even with having the bad weeks, I'm trying to see good things in the week. And spoke about the fact that I'm pessimistic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an optimistic person.
At
And
all.
I'm not, like I'm a definitely like
The
girl,
glass is half empty.
yeah, type of person. So I'm trying to again be self-aware of that and know that like I don't want to sit in that because I got so much other stuff on my mind to be sitting in certain things. So with the bad week, the continuation is happening because my car is still at the car dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell the story about what happens in my car last week?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yep.
this week it's more of the same. The only difference this week is that they have the lead technician working on my car, and I actually spoke to him a couple of times, so that he can keep me abreast on what is going on with the car and all of the diagnostics that they're trying to do. And like I told that boy, I don't want my car to be like the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is every time they bring out a new iPhone, your iPhone all of a sudden start acting amok. I'm not buying no new car. I
Right.
don't think that I need a new car, but what I'm saying
Right.
is I'm not buying no new car. So find out what's going on with my goddamn car.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how my week has been dealing with that. And I was listening to this podcast that 12 Kyle turned me on to, Baylor for President.
Uh-huh.
And shout out to Baylor for President because it's a really good podcast. In I was listening to it the other day, and his episode was about mental awareness. And he said many things in that episode that was like, damn, I'm going through that same thing. And then one of the top things that he talked about was the loss of his parents and how this time of year brings about like you said, seasonal depression. He talked about seasonal depression in the episode as well. And I was like, it's crazy that you think that you're the only person in the world that's
Right.
going through something. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, it is many people going through the
Right.
same
Same thing.
exact thing.
Yes.
Um, and so I related to that. And I brought it up to say I related to it so much. And it really is true. This is the time of year where we're going into holiday season, and holiday season, especially for my mother and I, was like a big time. We
Mm-hmm.
spent time getting things together and figuring out what we was getting the kids for Christmas and all that type of stuff. And this is around the time where we would start doing that. So it's just been a heavy, heavy time for me, and not even trying to sit in that. You know what I'm saying? Trying
Right.
to find joy in what we used to do
Right.
in that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm really growing. I'm really, really
I
growing.
see.
It ain't easy,
Yes.
but I'm trying, and that's all that we can really do. I'm trying, but I'm struggling, and that struggle is affecting other things. Like it's affecting my moods. My attitude is very like snappy. I'm
Right.
aggravated about a lot of things that one I should be aggravated about, but also some things that I shouldn't be aggravated about. And it's affecting my sleep. Um,
Yes.
and I don't have the best sleep
From the
at
start.
all.
Right.
So
Right.
so other things affecting the already bad sleep is not good because
I
as
mean,
we all know, your sleep affects so many other things in your life.
Sleep is very important, and that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about sleep because there is so people really don't realize the benefit of sleep.
Mm.
A lot of times people talk about, oh, if you want to lose weight, make sure you get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And then the first response you hear is, oh, I never sleep that much every night. Oh, I never get that much sleep. Oh, I'll never get, you know, and we don't understand that sleep is a very necessary. They use sleep deprivation as torture,
Mm-hmm.
in war and stuff. So sleep is a very necessary state or a process for your body to go through. You have to get sleep. And then you've been struggling with insomnia, which I must say, insomnia is a symptom. It
Mm.
is not a condition. People
Mm.
say, oh, I suffer with insomnia. I suffer with insomnia. Insomnia is not a condition. It's not a diagnosed condition. It is
Mm.
always a symptom of something else.
Wow. I
Most,
never knew that. And
yes.
I have talked to doctors, and this is why I know you a smarty already ass. I don't even know why you ain't go to medical school.
Who's gonna pay? But
But no, seriously, I'm being dead ass. I never knew that insomnia was a condition, and
it's
I
a
can speak,
symptom.
I mean, a symptoms, excuse me,
Yes,
and not a condition. And I can see why, because it definitely always stems from something else.
exactly.
But I've never had anyone explain it to me in that way.
Exactly. And now that they have the sleep aids prescription brand sleep aids, they're definitely trying to now. And I'm a healthcare professional.
Mm.
I believe, I try to keep people healthy. Our first goal is to keep you healthy. And if you are not healthy in an area or something like that you need medical intervention, whether it be surgery, physical therapy, occupational therapy, medication, whatever, I encourage people to do those things as well. However, these sleep aids and things like that, this is promoting insomnia, the condition of
Yeah.
which it isn't.
Mm.
It's a symptom.
Let me
It's
tell
a
you something.
symptom.
You could be a doctor and a preacher, because that is true.
It
And
is.
I
It's
mean,
very true.
yes, I am a witness
Okay.
of that. We are talking about me and so many other people, but we are
Me.
specifically talking about me in this episode.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, we are.
You really need sleep. And another, so like people don't realize what sleep does. So the first thing about sleep is that it's sleeping is a reset.
Hmm.
If you working and your computer starts acting crazy, what's the first thing you do is, oh, let me turn it off and turn
Yeah,
it back on
let
again.
me restart this. Hmm.
Exactly. You restart. And that's exactly what sleep does to your body. All the pathophysiology, all the things that are going on, your body does a lot, even if you're sitting down. And you feel like you're doing nothing, you're not always resting, because, and we know this, your brain is always cycling. And our brain burns sugar, glucose only. So, we're burning you do burn calories with the thinking, and those thoughts affect other pathophysiologies in your body. So when you're awake, your body is doing a lot. And
Mm.
sleep allows your body to rest and reset. It's very important.
Hmm.
It's very important. And if we could live off of 2-3 hours of sleep, which people do it,
Right.
it is not healthy.
Mm.
It is not healthy. A lot of those people will, at the end, they kind of develop heart disease, high blood pressure, things like that. They gain weight. And then it's harder for your body to keep all those things up. They start drinking coffee, taking shots, doing whatever Red Bull and beer in the morning and with coffee. And then at night, trying to do something to go to sleep, maybe take a pill or two. So sleep, you have to get sleep. You
Yes,
just
you
have to. So people don't understand that people who get good night's rest, what they tell you before you take a test when you're in school, Make sure you get a good
Good
night's
night's sleep.
rest.
Mhm.
Eat breakfast. People say like sleep improves your mood, improves your memory, improve. It does. It does all of those things because your body gets to rest. If your body experiences a big trauma, you go to the hospital. They put you in a coma.
Mhm.
They put you in it, they induce the coma so that you can rest, your body can rest and heal. So they expect a lot of things to happen on their own, however long it takes, but it happens on its own, and then they'll be able to wake you up, or you'll wake up naturally. So
Mhm.
sleep is very, very important.
Yes, it is. I'm a living witness of how important it is. Um, with all of the things that I am experiencing now. And it's crazy because I've had insomnia for so long. Well, before I lost my parents,
Right,
I had insomnia, but it was because I was worried about,
right.
you know, a number of things prior to losing them. And I can remember when insomnia first like came about and what I have been experiencing since then, as far as the changes in my mind and my spirit, in my
Mhm.
body. Sleep is ultra important.
Yeah, very important. And usually the underlying conditions, and I mean, I'm not an expert in sleep,
Mm,
but I know mostly the underlying conditions, just like you said, anxiety.
hmm.
And a lot of time, anxiety comes in a lot of forms. So a lot of times you don't really realize that you're anxious.
Hmm.
You don't always, have the high blood pressure, the sweating, the heightened sense of reality. You don't have that. But when you can't sleep, just like you said, I'm worried. But if that's anxiety, that's anxiety. So anxiety, high blood pressure, um, will cause you not to be able to sleep. Pain,
Mm,
pain is a big one. A lot of people live with a pain, and not everybody treats it.
hmm.
So if you don't, they say, oh, I don't want any drugs, no, I can handle it. And I always tell people, because I used to even think like that, but pain doesn't allow your body to heal. When your body is in a constant state of inflammation, it really can't heal. um
Right.
so it is important to treat the pain.
Yes, it
I
is because
understand if you don't want to take narcotics and things like that, but or opioids, but it is important to treat the pain as much as you can. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
no, I was just going to say you are correct. And then when you're in pain, it affects so many other things. All of these things are like a cycle and that just keep going and going because when you're in pain, your pressure is higher. Even if you don't have high blood pressure, your
Right,
pressure spikes. Um, even it causes the cortisol in your body to be high,
look
which
at you, boo.
I mean, I got a little smarty arty in me too, especially when it comes down to this topic, just because I've
Yes.
been dealing with it. I've done sleep studies, I've talked to sleep specialists. I've done all the stuff. And here
Mm.
I am. I've done it all.
So whatever became of your sleep studies?
Um, well, they told me that I was never in the REM, what they call REM sleep.
Right,
And that's when you go into that second part of sleep. So
right,
we all fall asleep
right,
and you're in that first, stage.
right,
And then when you go into that next stage, you get into the REM sleep. And that's
right,
when your body is really at rest, like you said. And that's when your body is able to really reset. Not that first, just like, oh, I fall asleep. Um, and I don't get to that REM sleep. And if I
right.
do get to it, it's very short lived. So in that sleep study, I discovered that I had sleep apnea as well. Um, and so they gave me an apparatus to put into my mouth to
Mm-hmm.
help me with the sleep apnea. And it's like a mouth guard. And you put it in your mouth, it pushes your tongue out where your air is able to circulate to you better, and it circulates to your brain better and puts your brain at that REM sleep. And the problem with me is I I haven't put that apparatus in my mouth to get to the point where I can get to that REM sleep. Again, self-awareness. I am very aware that I am not putting that thing in my mouth. The first time I put it in, they gave it to me. You know, they have to fit you for it and everything. They gave
Right.
it to me. They said, take this home and, put it in your mouth as a practice. You need to wear it maybe for like an hour a day for the first couple of days so you can get used to it before you put it into your mouth at night. I said, oh, all right, no problem. Now, when he gave it to me, I was like, this is kind of chunky, don't you think? But it was like, you'll get used to it. I said, all right. Okay, cool. I took that thing home. I put it in my mouth and it has metal on the side. It is not for the faint at heart. Let me just tell you that. It is very big. It's bulky. It has metal on the side of it. Like it puts you in the mind of dentures. But
What, metal?
yeah, because what it's supposed to do is, like I said, push your tongue out where you can get more air circulating into your mouth and goes to your brain. But they tighten it up. So, the metal is so that they can tighten it because it's supposed to fit into your mouth a certain type of way to be able to open up your airways a certain way. So it's the steps, you get it, you live with it for a while, then they tighten it up like braces.
Okay. What step are you on?
I'm on no step. I just got it in my hand, but I had it for almost a year. I brought it home. I put it in my mouth. Them damn metals, it pinched the inside of my cheek so bad. I said, I'm gonna try this again tomorrow. But tomorrow I couldn't get it in my mouth because my cheeks was all pinched up. And that turned into, I've had it for almost a year.
Okay.
So I'm at the beginning.
I got it. Right. Stage 1. I got it. Okay.
After this podcast, though, I'll probably revisit it because you're giving us such good information on sleep. Well, we'll continue.
Yes. So there are underlying issues of sleep. But I want to, a lot of people say, I've tried this, I've tried that, sleep aids. Now, you take a sleep aid.
Yes, I do.
And I've seen you when the sleep aid starts to kick in. It is hilarious. I mean, hilarious. I am not a fan of sleep aids. A lot of people, we talk about the opioid crisis. And I know a lot of people that, some people started with the painkillers. And then they can't get the painkillers. And I do want to say about that, when you take painkillers, like opioid painkillers and things like that, you can become addicted very quickly. Like 3 days, you can become addicted. And that's why it's important to wean off quickly, because your pain can be controlled, with other devices if you wean off the correct way.
Right.
But also, a lot of people get addicted to opioids starting with sleep aids. Tylenol PM. Very popular. You can buy it over the counter. And people take the sleep aids, and it has started people in a very nasty cycle of abuse, of drug abuse. So I am not a proponent of sleep aids. If you have to take it a night, okay. But to continually take sleep aids, myself personally, I am not a proponent of that. There are other things that you can do, and I just always try. Now, a lot of times people say, oh, I tried it, it doesn't work. Like they tried it for a day, 2 days, maybe even 3 days, but it does take some time. But if you try these things, they do work. It has worked for me, I will say, because I always did not. I mean, my mind would race. I could be sitting up in the dark till 4:00 in the morning, just up, turning everything off and just up. But you can implement some things to help you get a healthy night's sleep.
Yes, and you're going to tell us what they are. And also, I would like to say, stop. You don't have to put all my business in the
Well,
street. You know, we agreed to do this, topic, but I don't need all my. I'm a very private person. But no, I will. I just wanted to comment on what you said in regards to the sleep aid. You are 100% correct, and I know for me, it has been a bad cycle. And not a bad cycle of I've gotten addicted to
I was
opioids
about to
or
say,
anything
yeah,
like that. But no, it is a bad cycle. It's a bad cycle. I'm not going to minimize the the fact that it is a bad cycle. It just hasn't gotten me to that next part.
Mhm.
But I started out with taking, Tylenol PM, and then
Did
that,
you?
yeah, I used to
I
take
never knew
Tylenol.
that. Mm.
Yeah, yes, I've suffered with insomnia. I've lived
I
in
know you've had
Georgia
it for a
for
long time.
years. I had insomnia years before I moved here.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, because my anxiety has always been very high. You
Mhm.
know, um, being a caretaker, you have a lot of worries.
Yes.
You have a lot of stress, and I've had that for quite some time. And then just dealing with other things like, at one time my brother and the person that I dated, their lifestyle was very uh what's the word
Concerning.
I'm looking for? Concerning. And so I would stay up a lot of times worrying about that, never getting sleep, constantly going into my mom's room and checking and make sure she was breathing. Not that I even thought that she wasn't going to be breathing, but in my mind, I was like, girl, go in there and make sure that she breathing. It's like when you got a newborn baby and you constantly putting your finger under their nose, like, what's going on with this baby?
Right.
So it was the same thing. So it's just been a bad cycle. So I started off with Tylenol PM, and then I didn't want to take the Tylenol portion of the Tylenol PM. Then it came out with Z-Quil, which took away the Tylenol but just kept
Hmm.
the aid part. Went to that wasn't strong enough. Started taking more sleep aid. That wasn't strong enough. Then it was like, all right, well, I'm going to get on Ambien. And I have always said that I didn't want to be addicted to anything because my
Right.
parents are addicts. They were
Right.
addicts. And I don't shy away from that because they didn't. And at the time of their death, they were 20 some odd years clean,
Hmm.
but they were addicts.
Hmm.
And when you are born to addicts, it's very easy for you to become an addict.
Right.
So I'm very conscious of things
Me
I
too.
don't want
Yes.
to get addicted to because I know that my grandparents,
Right.
gamblers,
Right.
alcoholics.
I about to say we just have addictions in our
Yeah.
family.
So
Yes.
I
Mhm.
am very,
Me
very,
too.
very conscious of addiction. And
Right.
and anything that I do and it's like a long time, I'm like, I don't want to do that. You
Right.
know, and we talked about this. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, but when my mom first passed, I was coming home and pouring a little cocktail every day. And then one day I was like, "You pouring a lot of cocktails, ain't you? Backing on up, sweetie, because in
Mhm.
a minute your ass is gonna be a drunk, and you too
Right.
cute to be a drunk, you know,
Right.
and you need to get it together." I say all of that to say I never wanted to be addicted to anything, and now here I am caught up in this what I would definitely call an addiction of sleep aid. Because if I don't take it, I could be up for days with no problem, days, and
Mhm.
just going like regular, body breaking down. But yeah, I'm just going. It's like my mind won't turn off. So now I gotta go to a damn detox program to detox my ass out of
You don't
all
have to go to a program,
that's
but
how
it
I'm feeling.
is.
I'm feeling like, girl, 12 steps work for my mom. I better start doing it my damn self because that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. But as you said, there are things that you can do to
Yes.
help you remedy this. And
Yes.
you'll tell us
Some
about this.
tips to a healthy night's sleep.
Hmm.
So one of the first things that you can do is be mindful of the time. because that's the first thing we need to do. I think in our day, we create what our day is, right? And people say, I don't go to bed till 1 o'clock. I usually don't wind down till this time. I usually don't take it down till this time. So whatever your wind down, take it down, go to bed, whatever it is, be mindful of the clock and make your wind down, take it down, bedtime, a time where you can get 6 to 8 hours sleep. So you have to be to work at 7 o'clock, and you don't wind down, take it down, go to bed until 1:30, 2 o'clock. That doesn't give you enough time for 6 to 8 hours sleep, because you got to get up early, you got to get ready for work, you got to get to work, you got to be ready at 7. So you have to start restructuring yourself. You have to watch the clock. That is very important, and a lot of people don't do that now. And I had this issue because if there could be a show that you watch, the show don't come on till 11. I gotta watch the show. Well, now we can record shows. I record shows. I watch TV 1 day a week. And then all the shows that I need to watch that I record, I have to watch on that one day. I watch a little before work, then I watch a little after work, and then I can get all my shows in that I have to watch. Everything else, if I have some time, maybe I can binge watch or whatever. So the first thing is watch your clock. Start taking it down at a time where you can, and I'm not saying you're going to go to sleep right away, but if you're in bed, and you're starting to take it down, you should do it at a time where you can get 6 to 8 hours sleep. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is something that you mentioned. You said, I have to get out of this room. I have to buy a chair for my bedroom. I have to stay out of the bed, because your bedroom should be a peaceful place of sleep. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. I never been into the TV. I feel like, my bedroom, I read and I sleep in my room. I get dressed in my room. That's pretty much it. That's what I do in my room. Even if when I was married, I feel like I'm the entertainment, what you need TV for. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, so I never had a TV in my room. And so it's good to, especially if you're not a good sleeper, to take the TV out of your room. And that's big for a lot of people, because that's part of their wind down. But the TV, the noise, the lights, the activity that can start going on in your brain generated from a TV show, and your phone and your tablet, social media, all of those things, we have to cut those off at a certain hour. And your bedroom should be a peaceful place, so that when you walk into your bedroom, your body starts automatically be like, ooh, this is where we chill. Oh, this, I know some people that can walk in their room and be like, oh, I'm ready to take a nap. You know what I mean? And that's what happens, because you train yourself that this is what this is for.
Yes, that is a man. I'm listening to all of these things, because the only part of that I did was buy a chair to get out of the bed, because I used to do everything in my bed, like not necessarily laying down, but even sitting on the side of the bed, just like I would do everything, sit on the side of the bed, like it was like sitting on my couch. Now I brought a chair, so now I do stuff in the chair. It's still in the room though.
Right.
I do everything in the chair. And I have a TV in here, but I barely turn the damn TV on. But I'm watching other things, as you stated. I'm watching my iPad and my phone and etc.
Now, I didn't learn about, they have this blue light thing. Now, I didn't learn about that until I went to get my glasses. And, when you go get glasses, they be like, do you want the anti-glare? I'm like, yeah, give me the anti-glare. You want the bifocal? Yeah, give me the progressive lenses. You want this? Yeah, give me that. It sounds great until they be like $16.95.
Exactly. All for you to see a little bit better.
Right. All for me to see. And I mean, so they was like, you want the blue light? I was like, well, what is that? And they was like, your screens project a light that bothers your eyes. They say if you're at the computer all day, I think it's like 20 minutes on, and then you're supposed to stare off into space a minute for every 20 minutes that you're staring at the screen. But it does, and it affects your sleep. It keeps you from going to sleep. So you want to turn those things off. Another thing that we need to be mindful of, two things: caffeine and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Caffeine is a stimulant, and you can drink coffee. Now, people, when they do those coffee, there's nothing wrong with coffee. Let me just say that there's nothing wrong with coffee, but caffeine is a stimulant, and some people drink more than one cup of coffee a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so every time you drink coffee, you're adding the stimulant. So if you drink coffee into the afternoon, early evening, well, you're going to be stimulated when it's time for you to be taking it down, going to bed. Some people just drink one cup of coffee in the morning, that gets them through the day. That's fine. But coffee is a stimulant. Alcohol, on the other hand, is a depressant.
Mm.
And while some people, but the reason why alcohol seems, because a lot of people think that alcohol is a stimulant, it's not, it's a depressant. But what happens is your body gets depressed quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so your mind is like, hey, what's going on? And so it'll raise your blood pressure, get you all stimulated just to fight the fact that you're being depressed for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of overacts. And then you kind of crash.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not healthy either. So you want to watch, especially with the time of day. Now, I hope you're not getting up like drinking wine with your breakfast, but you do want to watch your caffeine and your alcohol intake. And a lot of people have nightcaps. They come home from work, make a drink and things like that. But if you do that habitually and you have problems sleeping, that's maybe where you need to start. And also, in with that, and I'm saying don't stop it, because you need to do it like every other day, because even if it's one glass of alcohol is something we get addicted to quickly as well.
Very.
And even if we don't drink a lot, if you drink on a continuous basis, your body will be like, hey, it's 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the hot toddy? Or, whatever I drink, your body will be like, hey, what's going on? So it may not be something that you can just abruptly stop, but, you go for every other day, then you skip 2 days, until you can get. And so it doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to go from insomnia to I'm getting a good night's rest tomorrow. It just doesn't happen that way. But these things do work. And I'm not talking about help. They work.
Mm-hmm.
If you apply them.
If you do them consistently.
If you apply them consistently. Yes.
And for me, it has to be stop drinking water even at a certain time.
Yes.
Because I am up all night
going to
for that reason as well, because I drink a lot of water throughout the day and I drink a lot of water at night. It's like at night, my body is turning into the day and I'm craving more water. And so if I'm up at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm drinking as if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so it's a constant, that adds into the no sleep, even with the sleep aid, that adds into no sleep as well, because I got to go to the bathroom,
Right.
So I have to even cut myself off from that at a certain time. I don't, but I have to. I don't do none of this
You
stuff.
should. I mean, you don't, but you should. And I didn't even think about, like, I know that I do not sleep through the night because I do go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I do drink a lot of water during the day. However, when I get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I literally get up, go to the bathroom, weigh myself, wash my hands, and come right back to bed, and I will go right back to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it breaks my rest. I'm conscious of what's going on, what I'm doing. And like, okay, I have to get up, I have to go to the bathroom. I don't check the time anymore, but I was doing it around the same time every day. So it doesn't break my sleep. To me, it does break the sleep, but to me, I can get back in the bed, I'll go right back to sleep. It doesn't bother me. However, I don't get up, go to the bathroom, come back, and I have water by my bed, but I don't drink it. In the middle of the night. So hopefully a good night for me is just one time. A couple times I have to get up more than once, but like I said, I can always go back to sleep. And that's because I have good sleep hygiene. I have great sleep hygiene. Thanks to Miss Gloria, my girl. Shout out. That's your number one fan, Maya.
Yes. Hey, girl.
That's my boo. And she'd be like, I agree with Maya.
That's right. That's right.
Miss Gloria, and a little girl named Haley. Haley is she's a little manager at my local Bath and Body Works.
Mm-hmm.
But aromatherapy is really it work. Aromatherapy works. Now I gotta just tell you this story. If you ever going to Morocco, listen, do not go.
I'm not a traveler like that. But I feel you.
If you ever go to Morocco, do not go to the herbalist, to the apothecary. I don't care what they call it. Don't go there. Don't go. So you get a tour guide, and they always take you to one. Mm-hmm. And if it's the time to go to the one when you in that market, just be like, oh, I'm going to look at these over there. Y'all go ahead, and I'm not going. Just go ahead and excuse yourself. Mm-hmm. Because you go in there and they have something for everything. I'm telling you, everybody that went in there in our group, everybody spent, like, I don't think anybody spent less than $500. It was crazy. Wow. Because they have something for everything, and they be talking about it. You're like, oh, I got that.
Yeah, I need that. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get one of those for my sister. She got inflammation. Right. They have everything in there, and they really tell you like these things work. I will say this. Now, a lot of that stuff, especially like the teas and the herbs, I got some real saffron. And, for people that drink that, it really does help with the inflammation and stuff. Mm-hmm. But there was something for sleep. Mm-hmm. And it was like in a roller, like the oils, and it had a roller. And they say you put it here, like right under your ear, and it helps with sleep. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us bought that. I will say that worked.
It worked?
That worked.
Why wouldn't you buy me one? And you know what I have.
Well, I didn't know it was going to work. I didn't know it was going to work. Well,
the thought of it may be working. You should have.
You're right. One. You're right. I might have two. I'll look for the other one. It might be at the house. Mm-hmm. But it did work. And then my friend, her son, I think he's on the spectrum. I'm not sure, but he has trouble sleeping. And I know my Jiggy definitely. We went through whole battles with melatonin, but I stopped that because Jiggy would just be knocked out for 3 hours and then up for 3 days. Mm-hmm. Melatonin, you really have to get that down to a science, and that was very, very hard. But she said she put it on her hand and rubbed it on his pillow, and he would just sleep like through the night. But I kept looking at this thing like, what is it that makes me sleep? Now it has an orange zest kind of smell, like not wake up like orange, right. But like the undertone is like a strong orange. And I was like, maybe it's something in the smell. I never paid it no mind. I use it, if I feel like I want to wind down, whatever, I'll put it on. And then one day I went away with Miss Gloria, and we were working together, and she bought from Bath and Body Works. They have aromatherapy scents and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, they get on my nerves. And she would bust out the lotion, like stress, and be rubbing it in like, I don't have time for this. But it did give like a calming scent. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something to this aromatherapy. Mm-hmm. So what I start doing is I got myself some very, 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 very good sheets. Bed sheets are important.
Fancy.
And what I say, bed sheets are my pajamas, so they have to be nice. Mm-hmm. So I got some very, very good bed sheets. I start taking a shower every night at a certain time, start breaking it down. And I said, when I went to the Bath and Body Works, that little girl, Haley, she was like, oh, I said, I like this. And she was like, oh, we don't make this anymore. Now, this is really good for sleep. It's not the same scents, the same tones, but it has this. And I didn't like the smell at first. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it. And she was like, I'm telling you, you try this, whatever. So when I start taking a shower and using that scent, I bought the soap and I bought the lotion. My body starts saying, oh, we're about to wind down. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're about to go to bed. Oh, and so by the time I do my little rituals and stuff, getting ready for bed, and I lay down, and they have a linen spray. Mm-hmm. And I like that. And it takes me maybe 20 minutes to go to sleep. Maybe. And I sleep until I have to go to the bathroom. I get up, I go to the bathroom, and I go to sleep again. Now, sometimes I have trouble waking up.
Right. Right. That means it's really working. But
Right,
now
I have
I
trouble waking
use
up.
the aromatherapy thing. Now that I do use, I have incorporated into my life because I'm trying to get good sleep hygiene. It's a process because I don't have it. Well, let me just say this. I'm not consistent with it. That's the problem.
Mhm,
But I started buying the Dr. Till's linen spray,
mhm.
and then Bath and Body Works has a room spray called Stress Relief,
Yes.
and it
That's what the eucalyptus in
yeah,
it? Yes, I
yeah,
like
and
it.
those things really do work. I know when I spray that room spray, that stress relief, I do feel a more calming spirit in my
Mhm.
bedroom. And then when I spray the Dr. Tills all over my pillows and my linen and everything, it does give me like a little like, hmm, you know. And at first I was just spraying it on there because it was, to me, it was just like, oh, it's a linen spray. Let me just
Right,
spray it on my. But now I spray it specifically when I'm ready to turn the light off. Like I'll
right.
spray it on there and then I'll get in the bed because again, I'm trying to incorporate, small changes into my sleep pattern or my sleep routine that can help me in actually getting rest.
Right. I think that if you stick with it, if this is what you do, and we have a habit of making excuses.
Mhm.
Oh, I gotta finish this. Oh, I wanted to watch this. Oh, this is for this. Now I'm a reader. I can be in the bed, out the bed, doesn't matter. If I pick up a book and I'm liking what I'm reading, I will be up all night reading the book. So
Mhm.
I have to put books down. I have to, and it's okay to lie there with my thoughts. Because, like I
Mhm.
said, once I initiated these habits, max 20 minutes, I go to sleep.
That's wonderful. But no, what I have found is that my brain is not cutting off, and not even cutting off, but I am like, to me, for me, which hasn't been working, right? This is not had it hasn't been working. But what I do is I use those things as a distraction of the thoughts that I'm having, because the thoughts that I'm having, a lot of times I don't want to have those thoughts. And that sounds so crazy. Like, are you thinking about being a serial killer or something? No, but I'm thinking about all of the wrong things, like the
That's
sadness,
what
the
I was going to,
grief,
yeah.
the
Mhm.
those things. And it's not that I'm shying, I don't want to shy my mind away from thinking about certain things, because
Mhm.
certain things need to be thought about you know
Right.
I don't want to block out certain things, because in the past I blocked out certain things, and then when they come back around, then it's like a ton of bricks is hitting me in my face because
Mhm.
I blocked it out, right? But I use those things as a distraction. So if I'm up watching something or whatever, to me, it's like mindless behavior, so that I won't think about the fact that I'm sad, or that I'm in grief, or that I'm anxious, or any of those things. But it's counterproductive, to me being able to rest. And that's why I said it's like a vicious cycle. So my underlying issues are never getting addressed because I'm masking them with these other things, and not even masking them with things that are, most things that you mask anything with is not good. But it's nothing good in it. It's just like mindless bullshit, really. Even when I'm sitting up and I'm trying to read something positive. Now, I don't like self-help books. It gets on my nerves. Self-help books get on my nerves. I'm gonna be honest with you. That book of happy is about the only thing I can do. But even when I'm up reading stuff like that, I'm still not happy. So I'm just doing other things to mask wherever it is that I am at. It's just a bad thing. But
It's a
I
process. It's a process. I will say this. I will say this before we wrap this up, that the Bible says, you know, what it says, finally, brothers, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, if they have any good in them, think on those things. And
mm,
we have to train our mind to think about the good things.
mm,
And good things excite us, give us the joy, because you're not always going to be happy, but you have an underlying joy. And joy, you can relax in joy. Joy is peaceful.
mhm,
So even when you're having those thoughts, because like, what, I have a mirror to look like, Mary Jane, sticky notes all over it, with positive messages, because we do like to contemplate on the not so great things, like, and things that we think are good, like, get it together, girl.
mhm.
Sometimes we have to be more specific, like,
Yeah,
you are capable to finish this, finish it,
right.
or things like that. So I always, like, those things, and I have to ask, like, all right, what is true, what's honest, what's just, what's lovely, what's pure, so that I can be reminded of those things. But if you put those sleep habits into place, you can conquer insomnia. You can.
You are correct. And you are correct. I don't know how many times I have to hear this message. I don't know what it's going to take for certain things to register with me. I think that it's just a way that I process life, and life lessons and certain things. I think that I need to get better with my discipline in all areas of life, but specifically this, because it's affecting me in other ways. It's truly affecting other things. It's affecting my weight, it's affecting my moods, it's affecting um my health in certain ways. So even in knowing all those things, I'm not doing certain things, but this podcast has made me think and ready to do, actually act on those things. So I want to thank you uh because this was some good stuff, and definitely some things that I need to take heed to and put into practice myself, especially the get out of your room and the turn it off at a certain time.
Yeah.
Like, even turn the light off. Like, I don't even do that. I really literally don't turn the light off until I'm like my eyes are closing. Then I turn my lights off. And it's like,
Oh,
if you don't turn your lights off, if you don't turn this off, your body is thinking that you're up. It's a
exactly.
lot of things that I need to do.
Right. So, just to sum it all up, these are some healthy habits for a good night's sleep. So, first, you want to watch the clock. Start getting yourself ready at a decent hour so that you can get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. You want to watch your caffeine and your alcohol intake. You want to initiate good sleep hygiene, have rituals, a peaceful bedroom, no electronics, aromatherapy if you're into it. I am, it works, I love it. And then also, because we stated in the beginning that insomnia is a symptom, it's not a condition. So go to the doctor, get to the bottom of why you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you. This has been very informative. You definitely helped me and put some things into perspective for me, especially with insomnia not being um,
A
a
condition.
condition, but it being a symptom. And you are absolutely correct. I know exactly where my insomnia stems from, and I know where it continues to come from. And, speaking from personal experiences, insomnia is not something that you want. So make sure that you uh,
It's true.
put these things into place so that you can help to reset your mind, your body, and your spirit, your health, your mood, your everything with healthy sleep. And I will try and do the same. That means, using my sleep apparatus that they given me, especially because I don't want to get to the point where I have to wear the mask. I'm single. I'm
That is
still
not
out
cute.
here, still out here trying to date. And I don't want anyone, even though people should accept you the way that you are, I
Hmm.
surely don't want to walk into a new situation and see you with a mask and a hose hanging from your face. Now, I you know, accept people, come as you are. But it's not the greatest sight in the world unless you are really into the person. So I say all of that to say again, thank you. I'll make sure that I do these things as well. And more importantly, get help for my underlying anxiety, which I'm doing. I'm doing therapy. I'm praying more. I am reading my book of happy, trying to do the stuff. And when, we'll do a follow up to this. And hopefully during that follow up, I had put some of these things into place and I can start getting a good night rest as well.
Good.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here for this week. We hope that you enjoyed this week's episode. This is a ritual of ours. I say it every single week. We drop a new episode each and every Monday. Make sure that you check us out everywhere that you can listen to a podcast. Follow us on social media, as I always say, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're at We Did That Shit Podcast. Again, plug in our YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe, and smash that like button. That would really help us out. Follow me on my personal Twitter, as I always say. It's MyMy13, MYMY13.
And I'm at Bibbi Amina. That's BIBBIAMINA.
Yep, and we'll be here same time next week.
Remember, be great this week. Do that shit. I love you, Maya.
I love you too. I'm telling you, if I didn't love you, the way that you say, I love you, Maya, every week would make you say, I love you too.
Oh,
But I love you too.
I know you love me.